Hey everyone, welcome back to Everyday Chinese English Academy. I'm Ming.
And I'm Emma. Today we are talking about a very small sound with unreasonable power.
A fire alarm?
Smaller.
A mosquito beside your ear?
More dangerous. A work notification after you have finished work.
The sound that can turn tea back into a meeting.
Exactly. It is 9:47 at night. You have changed into comfortable clothes, you have made tea, you have finally chosen something to watch. Then your phone makes one polite little sound.
And your shoulders immediately rise.
Before you even read the screen. That is the strange part. The sound lasts half a second, but suddenly your whole evening feels uncertain.
What did the message say?
6 characters. 方便吗? Are you available?
That question contains no information and unlimited possibilities.
Is it a 10-second question? A missing file? A 2-hour emergency? Am I about to open my laptop? Nobody knows.
So today we are following one message from the first ping to the next morning.
We will talk about the work group chat, the pressure to reply, the famous 2-character answer that means got it, and the difference between a real emergency and a habit that quietly eats every evening.
We should say one thing clearly. Every company is different.
Every manager is different too. Some teams protect personal time. Some jobs truly have emergencies. Some people work across time zones. And some messages are sent at night only because the sender does not expect an answer until morning.
The difficult part is often not the message itself. It is the missing rule around the message.
Exactly. So let us return to 9:47, when my tea was hot and my judgment was weak. I looked at the screen. The message came from my work group chat.
The first word today is xiaoxi. Xiaoxi. It means message.
消息, 消息.
Good. A text, an app notification, a piece of news from someone. These can all be xiaoxi. You can say, 我看到你的消息了. I saw your message.
A 消息 can be friendly. A friend sends dinner photos. Your family asks whether you got home. A shop tells you your order is ready.
But context changes the weight.
Yes. A message from a friend at 9:47 feels like a door you can open whenever you want. A message from work can feel like a door that has already opened itself.
Especially when the message is vague.
I stared at, "Are you available?" for maybe 20 seconds. This is embarrassing because 20 seconds is not long, but inside my head, I lived through an entire office drama.
What happened in the imaginary drama?
First, I answered immediately and spent 2 hours fixing a presentation. Then, in another version, I ignored it and everyone decided I was unreliable. In a third version, I replied too casually and accidentally ended my career with one thumbs up emoji.
A productive 20 seconds.
Very productive. Meanwhile, the actual phone was just lying on the table.
Did the sender write anything else?
No, that was the whole xiaoxi. Are you available?
A useful work message usually gives the receiver enough information to make a decision.
Something like, I have one question about tomorrow's slide. It is not urgent. Please look in the morning.
Exactly. Same situation, less mystery.
Mystery is excellent in a novel. It is terrible in a work notification.
Very true.
You said the xiaoxi came from a work group chat. In Chinese, that is gongzuoqun. Gongzuoqun.
工作群,工作群.
Gongzuo means work. Qun means group, especially a chat group. Gongzuoqun is the group chat used by coworkers, a department, or a project team.
It can be incredibly useful. One update reaches everyone. A file stays in one place. Nobody has to search through 12 separate email chains.
Yes, the gongzuoqun solves real problems.
But it also puts a tiny office inside your pocket.
And the office has no physical closing time.
Exactly. A building has stores. You walk out, the lights turn off. Your phone does not have that clear moment. The gongzuoqun travels home with you, sits beside your dinner, and sometimes watches television from the sofa.
That does not mean every message in a gongzuoqun requires action.
Rationally, I know that. Emotionally, when 3 people begin discussing a problem at night, it feels like a meeting has started in a room where I am already standing.
Even if nobody invited you directly.
Yes, you see new lines appearing. Someone sends a screenshot. Someone sends a question mark. Someone writes, "Let us solve this quickly." Suddenly, you are reading because not reading requires more discipline than reading.
Group chats create social visibility. Everyone can see who is participating.
and sometimes who has read the message.
That can increase pressure, but the meaning depends on the team. In a healthy team, late messages may simply be asynchronous. The sender writes when convenient, the receiver answers during working hours.
Asynchronous is a beautiful word when everyone agrees on it.
Without agreement, it can become a guessing game.
You ask yourself, is silence allowed? Is this urgent? Will everyone remember that I did not answer? Does one quick response make me helpful? Or does it teach the group that I am always available?
Those are not language questions. They are boundary questions.
Exactly. The gongzuoqun is only a tool. The culture around the tool decides whether it feels efficient or endless.
Eventually, I decided to reply.
回复 means to reply or respond.
回复.
You can use it as a verb or a noun. 请回复 means please reply. 谢谢你的回复 means thank you for your reply.
My first draft was, yes, what do you need? Then I thought it sounded too available.
Your tea was getting colder while you edited one sentence.
Correct. My second draft was, I can look tomorrow morning. Then I worried it sounded defensive before I even knew the question.
So what did you send?
I am away from my computer, but I can check whether it is urgent.
That is clear. You replied without promising unlimited time.
I learned that a huifu can do two jobs. It can answer the content, and it can define your availability.
Very important. Yes answers the sender, but I can check for 10 minutes also protects the receiver.
Some people are naturally good at that. They write, I saw this, I will handle it at 9 tomorrow. Short, calm, complete.
Others write a 5-paragraph apology for not being beside a laptop at midnight.
I have never done that.
Of course not.
I have written only 4 paragraphs.
Much healthier.
The strange thing is that speed can become a reputation. If you always huifu within 1 minute, people may begin to think 1 minute is normal.
Reliability is good, but permanent availability is not the same as reliability.
That distinction matters. A reliable person communicates clearly, meets real deadlines, and handles urgent problems. A permanently available person may simply be afraid to leave the phone alone.
And fast replies can hide poor planning. If everything becomes urgent at night, the team may need a better process, not faster thumbs.
Faster thumbs is not a management system.
Put that on a poster.
The answer came back immediately. The sender wrote, the client changed one number. Can you update the slide?
Was it urgent?
The presentation was at 10 the next morning, so it needed to be done, but not necessarily at 9:47.
What did you say?
shoudao.
shoudao means received or got it.
shoudao.
Show means receive. Dao shows that the action reached its result. In work chats, shoudao is a compact confirmation. I received the information.
It is useful because it closes uncertainty. The sender knows the message did not disappear into space.
But shoudao does not always explain when the task will be finished.
That was my mistake. I meant, I received this and will do it tomorrow morning. The sender may have heard, I received this and I am opening my laptop now.
One extra sentence would help. 收到，我明早处理. Got it. I will handle it tomorrow morning.
Clearer for both people.
Exactly. Short language is efficient when the shared expectation is already clear. When the expectation is unclear, short language can create 2 different stories.
In my story, I was returning to my tea. In the sender's story, a new slide was about to arrive.
2 parallel universes created by 2 characters.
This is why office communication is sometimes funny. People think they are discussing a file, but they are also negotiating time, priority, and responsibility.
A good confirmation can include all 3. 收到. I will send the updated slide by 9 tomorrow.
It is still brief, but now the evening has a border.
Yes, a border does not need a speech. Sometimes it needs one-time expression.
I put the phone down. 5 minutes later, it made another sound.
Of course it did.
The message said, can you send it tonight? I am just following up.
A common phrase is 催一下. It means to follow up, remind someone, or gently chase progress.
催一下. 催一下.
催 means urge or press. 一下 makes the action sound smaller or softer. So 催一下 can sound lighter than a direct command.
But if you are the person being chased, it may not feel small.
Exactly. Tone does not live only inside the phrase. It also comes from timing, frequency, relationship, and power.
If a teammate asks once about a file that is already late, 催一下 can be reasonable.
If someone asks every 15 minutes about work that is not due until tomorrow, the same phrase feels different.
The word yixia is doing its best, but it cannot carry the whole emotional situation.
Very true. Soft language cannot fix an unreasonable expectation by itself.
I checked the slide. The change was genuinely small. 1 number, 1 chart label, 1 note.
So 10 minutes?
In theory, but opening a laptop at night has hidden costs. First, the computer updates. Then you find the file. Then the font changes for no reason. Then a cloud folder asks you to sign in again.
And suddenly the 10-minute task is 40 minutes.
Exactly. Then you notice another mistake that nobody asked about. Now you must decide whether to fix it. A small task enters your evening and begins inviting friends.
That is how suixia becomes much larger than yixia.
I finished the change and sent the file. The sender replied with a thumbs up.
The international symbol for your evening has been accepted as payment.
That is exactly how it felt.
The word for working overtime is jiaban, jiaban.
jiaban, jiaban.
Jia means add. Ban means work shift. Jiaban literally adds work beyond the normal shift.
One emergency can create jiaban. A launch fails, a hospital has a critical case, a storm changes travel plans, or a customer system goes down.
Some jobs include real situations that cannot wait until morning.
The problem is when every ordinary request borrows the language of emergency.
Then, jiaban stops being an exception and becomes the invisible schedule.
And people plan their evenings as if the time is only temporarily theirs.
That uncertainty can be more tiring than the actual task.
Yes, if you know you are working late, you can plan food, transportation, and rest. If you believe you are free but remain mentally on call, you never fully begin your own evening.
This is not unique to one country. Phones, remote work, global teams, and competitive industries have blurred working hours in many places.
And even inside the same city, 2 companies can have completely different habits.
One company may forbid non-urgent messages after work. Another may use delayed delivery. Another may allow messages at any hour, but clearly state that replies are expected only during work time.
The best rule is often not nobody may ever send a message at night. People have different schedules. The useful rule is nobody has to guess whether this can wait.
Exactly. Mark true emergencies clearly. Put deadlines in the message. Use delayed send when possible. And do not reward preventable urgency as if it were heroism.
I once worked with someone 12 hours away. My morning was his evening, and his morning was the middle of my night. We could not avoid sending messages outside each other's working hours.
But you could separate sending time from response time.
Yes, we wrote the expected deadline in every important message. For your morning meant answer when you start. Urgent meant call. That tiny agreement removed most of the anxiety without forcing either person to change time zones. Also, managers have more power than they sometimes realize. A manager may write, "No need to reply tonight," but if they praise only the person who replies tonight, the real rule becomes obvious.
Culture is built by repeated behavior, not only written policy.
My one slide was not a disaster, but it revealed a question. Was I helping with a rare need or participating in a pattern?
And you cannot answer that from one xiaoxi. You answer it by watching what happens over time.
The next morning, our team talked about what happened.
Was it uncomfortable?
A little, but useful. Nobody had intended to ruin anyone's evening. The sender had been worried about the client and wanted certainty. I had been worried about appearing unhelpful and gave an unclear answer. We were both guessing.
So you made a rule.
A simple one. If something is truly urgent after work, call. If it can wait, put the deadline in the xiaoxi and expect the huifu during working hours.
That removes the mystery.
We also rewrote the original message. Instead of, "Are you available?" it became, "The client changed 1 number on slide 12. The presentation is at 10 tomorrow. Please update it by 9. No need to reply tonight."
That message is longer, but it costs less attention.
Exactly. It tells me the task, the deadline, the urgency, and the expected response. I can read it once and make a decision.
Clear communication gives time back to the receiver.
We wrote another version for a real emergency. The file for the 7 a.m. launch is broken. We need help tonight. Please reply if you can join for 30 minutes.
Also clear. It does not pretend the request is small, and it gives a time estimate.
That honesty matters. Quick question often becomes dangerous because quick describes the asking, not the answering.
Very good point.
We also agreed that shoudao should include timing when timing is important. Shoudao, tomorrow at 9. shoudao, I can do it tonight. Shoudao, but I need help from design.
Small additions, fewer parallel universes.
And if someone needs to 催一下, they should include the reason. Following up because the client meeting moved earlier is easier to understand than a lonely question mark.
The lonely question mark may be the most stressful punctuation in office life.
It has no words and somehow sounds impatient.
Efficient but terrifying.
A few days later, my phone made the same sound at 9:47.
Did your shoulders rise?
A little. Habits take time. But the message said, for tomorrow afternoon, no need to reply now.
And what did you do?
Nothing.
Beautiful.
I finished my tea, I watched the show, I answered the next morning.
The message still existed. The work still got done, but the evening remained an evening.
That is the point I want to keep. Good boundaries do not mean refusing every request. They mean knowing when you have a real choice.
And good communication does not mean never sending a late xiaoxi. It means giving people enough information to understand what the message requires.
A gongzuoqun can be a useful tool instead of an office that never closes. A huifu can be clear without being instant. Shoudao can include a time. 催一下 can include a reason. And jiaban can remain an exception instead of becoming the background of every night.
One small notification should not have unlimited power.
Especially not over hot tea.
Protect the tea.
Always. Thanks for spending this time with us at Everyday Chinese English Academy.
We are glad you were here.
Take care of your time, communicate clearly, and have a peaceful evening.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.